Tonight, Troy University takes its reading initiative into the community.
Plus, a university alumnus receives the country's highest military honor. Stay tuned, Troy. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for September 15th, 2014. I'm Dustin Allen.
And I'm Courtney Addison. Thank you for joining us this evening. A Troy University alumnus was awarded the country's highest military honor this morning. Retired Sergeant Major Benny Atkins was presented the Medal of Honor by President Obama this morning in Washington. Atkins, who received his bachelor and 2 master's degree from Troy, was awarded the medal for his service during the Vietnam conflict. Atkins receives this Medal of Honor because of acts of valor in Vietnam in March of 1966. Atkins fought off enemy forces for 38 hours and invaded them for another 48 while awaiting rescue. Atkins earned his...
We found by helicopter and notified by radio that they were going to come in and pick us up. Well, the helicopter come right in and they shot the helicopter down. So it was too late and too high of altitude for another helicopter, so we had to evade again.
Atkins earned his bachelor's degree from Troy State University in 1979. He earned his master's degree in education in 1982 and then a second master's degree in management in 1988.
Many people reserve the weekends for sleeping in, but this Saturday, CrossFit enthusiasts gathered together to sweat for a cause. Haley Greathouse has more.
Around 1,600 people die every day in India from illness due to dirty water. This Saturday, CrossFit Ilium and Neverthirst joined together again for the 3rd annual WAD for Water event. This CrossFit-style workout of the day raises money and awareness for those who do not have access to clean water. But this year, the event had an added twist.
It's my 3rd year doing WAD for Water. It's the first time they really made it into a competition. It's another chance to come together as a group of people and compete.
Been doing it since they had it here, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good workout, and it's a good way to use all the stuff I do in the gym and kind of bring it outside.
The competition brought in people not only from Troy, but also from surrounding areas, allowing the group to surpass their fundraising goals.
We raised $58,946.31. Our goal was $50,000, trying to raise money for India, South Sudan, and Cambodia to build clean water wells, rain tanks, biosand filters so people can take dirty water, turn it into clean water. It's all done by Neverthirst out of Birmingham. So all the money we raise goes to Neverthirst so that they can go overseas and do this.
Competitors enjoy having an event that everyone can get involved in.
Having something to come to, get ready for, and be involved in makes a big difference as far as raising money and awareness.
Water is essential to life, and it's absolutely phenomenal that we're able to provide people across the globe with something so basic that we take for granted here.
And Jones says the wells will impact generations.
Turn 5, you start walking to get water, and it's usually a 2 to 3 mile trip. So now those kids can go to school, they get an education, they can actually grow up and do something instead of having to repeat that cycle over and over.
Haley Greathouse, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And once again, WAD for Water was able to raise $59,000, and this will build 16 wells, 3 rainwater tanks, and 6 biosand filters. And in what has become a big part of freshman life at Troy, the new students are required to read a common book during their first year at Troy.
That's exactly right, Dustin. And this year's book, Fahrenheit 451, is going out beyond the borders of Troy University and into the community in what is being called the Big Read to encourage reading throughout the community. Courtney Chandler has the details.
Has received a grant to promote a program designed to revitalize the role of reading in American culture.
Well, Big Read is something we're really excited about. It is a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, and it is designed to spread the love of reading and to get people to engage in reading.
The Big Read program exposes citizens to great works of literature and promotes reading for pleasure and enrichment.
The time was coming up to apply for a grant. Didn't we want to think about doing it? Well, since our QEP here at the university has been engaged reading, it was the perfect time to apply. So we got all of our ducks in a row and filled out the application and brainstormed on some activities we could maybe sponsor, send it in to the NEA, and we got it.
And this year's book is Fahrenheit 451.
It is all about the concept of reading and the ideas found in books. And in Fahrenheit 451, the main character is a fireman. Except unlike what we know as firemen, his job was to burn houses rather than to put out fires. Right. They started fires, and they started fires in houses that contained books.
Wow.
They were against the law to have a book.
Courtney Chandler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Kickoff for the Big Read will be tomorrow night at 7 in the Johnson Center for the Arts.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, Phil Campbell is finally opening a new school more than 3 years after a tornado destroyed the old one. Students began attending classes at Phil Campbell High School today. An F5 tornado killed more than 24 people and destroyed much of the Franklin County city during the outbreak on April 27th in 2011.
And in Birmingham, a church is marking the anniversary of a deadly Ku Klux Klan bombing that killed 4 black girls in 1963. The 16th Street Baptist Church planned a service today to commemorate the 51st anniversary of the blast.
And in Columbiana, Alabama's First Lady Diane Bentley attended a domestic violence training session for Shelby County law enforcement officials. Governor Robert Bentley's office says this morning's session is part of Diane Bentley's initiative to raise awareness on domestic violence.
And still to come on TrojanVision News, we'll have the soccer team continue their winning streak to make it 6 games strong. Amy Austin will have the details when she joins us in sports.
And the U.S. is now taking steps to be sure that no other Americans are tempted to join forces with foreign countries. We'll have the details on that and more after the break.
The fight against extremist groups like ISIS may be coming to a city near you. I'm Paula Reed in Washington with more on that story coming up.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Want to save money on gas and help the environment? The EPA's smart driving tips could give you more miles per gallon and reduce air pollution. Make sure your tires are properly inflated. Accelerate and brake slowly. Be aware of your speed. And when buying a new car, look for the SmartWay certification mark to help you choose the most efficient vehicle that meets your needs. If we each adopt just one of these tips, we'd get more miles for our money, and it would be a little easier to smell the flowers. For more info, visit epa.gov/smartway.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
The soccer team hosted 2 games over the weekend and came away with victories from both. Jacob Harrison has the details on the game against Jacksonville State.
The soccer team coming off a 4-game winning streak and a 6-day break, hosting an old in-state rival, Jacksonville State. The Trojans battled through the heat to take a 3-1 victory.
We've seen this team in the past. We knew that they were going to be a hard game. It was a game that we knew this is going to be a good test for us because this is going to be more what our competition's like in our conference. And we're just happy that we won, and we want to improve every game going forward.
Natalie Malilo got the Trojans started with a header in the 26th minute. It was the freshman's 3rd goal of the season. And in the 47th minute, junior forward Chelsea Williams came up with her 20th career goal to give the Trojans a 2-0 lead.
A great game from Chelsea today. We've been waiting for her to kind of shine for us, and I think this was the game. She had one of her best games of the year, and then puts away the game winner for us, which was a phenomenal goal.
The Gamecocks answered back with a goal of their own in the 53rd minute to snap a streak of 423 scoreless minutes against Troy's defense.
Really high pressure, intense. We smother the ball any chance we get, so they have no options to pass it. So the ball doesn't really even get into our half that much, and when it does, our defenders just take it out.
Kind of been how things have been since I got here. If we don't make mistakes, we're not going to give up goals. We do well defensively, and we made a bad judgment in there on a play, but the team rebounded greatly and came back with another goal.
In the 80th minute, Alyssa Jones finally made her presence felt with the game clincher to earn her 6th goal of the season.
I think she's been a really good player for us, moving her into that offensive role and putting her in a new position. I think she's learning it as she goes on and improving every game. I think it was a frustrating game for her because you come in on a 4-game scoring streak, they're gonna play you pretty hard. So at halftime she's like, they're just following me around. So we just made some adjustments there to try and free her up, play her in a little bit more of a wide position, and it resulted in a goal there to kind of seal the game.
The soccer team then took on UAB on Sunday to finish the weekend with the second win. UAB took an early lead over the Trojans as they scored in the 14th minute. The Blazers held Troy through the rest of the first half. Troy came out fighting in the second half, though. In the 52nd minute, Troy junior Jasmine Fawnbauer scored to tie the Blazers. Then Fawnbauer scored again, this time unassisted, in the 83rd minute. This put the Trojans up 2-1 and sealed the victory. Troy is on a 6-game winning streak so far and is looking to add to that as they face Francis Marion on Friday at the Jaguar Classic in Mobile. The football team was in Auburn over the weekend to compete in the Active Ankle Challenge. Troy fell in all 3 games in the tournament. The Trojans lost to Auburn 3-0 and then fell to South Florida 3-1. Troy then faced Winthrop in their final game where they made it to 4 matches but lost 3-1. Troy defeated the Eagles in the first match 25-18. Winthrop then came back to win the next 3 matches and the game. Simone Shaw led the Trojans with 14 kills and was followed by Blair Winston, who had 12 kills. Ali Dowdell had 19 digs for an assist. And although his team put up big numbers, head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick said they didn't perform how they wanted. The volleyball team will be at home on Wednesday against Georgia Southern to open conference play. And the football team started strong in Saturday's game as they looked to gain their first victory, but Abilene Christian came back in the second half to defeat the Trojans. The Troy football team started off the game with energy and points, but Abilene Christian came back to defeat the Trojans 38-35. And after this tough loss, head coach Larry Blakeney knows his team is in a rough patch this season.
We're in the throes of a sad time here after losing a game to a team that everybody thinks we're supposed to beat. And this team that beat us tonight can beat anybody in this league. I don't know if they could do it if they had to play us all in succession, but they're good enough to beat.
After this loss, the team's morale is down, and to improve for the rest of the season, Blakeney says his team needs to perform better.
That whole group down there is frustrated, and our coaches are, and if any of you think, I'm as frustrated as all of them put together. So, yeah, we're frustrated. We got to play better. We got to do a lot of things better.
With 3 losses against them, the only way for the Trojans to regain their momentum and focus is to get back to the basics.
I don't know but one way, cuz, and that's to lay your shoulder to the plow and go back to work and try to get your players to do the same and intensify your efforts. And I thought we played hard tonight. We didn't play very good in some places, and we gave up too much.
And with other tough teams on the horizon, the focus is to find a way to gain a win.
They're a good team, and they beat us. And we got a bunch more good teams on our schedule. And the only way to keep from going 0-12 is to go to work and try to find a way to beat somebody.
Troy heads to Athens, Georgia to face Georgia this Saturday with kickoff at 11 a.m.